Excited to be back and ready to go. This off season seems, on one respect, longer and longer. On the other, on the other hand, it goes quick. But these guys, we've gone through 8 weeks of summer, fall conditioning, fall practice, and then 2 exhibition games, and still learning about our team. But as you probably heard me say a handful of times, I like this group, and I think we're athletically, I think we're longer. I think we can do some things defensively. We got some older guards, and I just really like the pieces we put together in the portal. I said today on another outlet that I thought, sometimes you sign 7 or 8 guys in the portal, and it's hard to manage that. We got 4. The 4 guys we got all are going to impact us. We combined it with 5 guys that were in our program last year. And I thought that was having 5 guys that we feel that are going to contribute back, I thought was a big part of it. And then we mixed them with 3 freshmen. So I like our blend. I like how we've come together so far, but we're definitely ready to get going and start playing some different competition where it matters. Oh, yeah. No, Justin Scott's been a great addition to our staff. A veteran, a guy that's been a head coach, great with the players, great on-floor coach, great basketball mind, and it's just been seamless. I mean, it just having X with him there, and X been a huge part of what we're doing. Just I couldn't have had a scenario work out better to where I got a great assistant coach who I'm leaning on a lot, and then and a point guard I'm leaning on a lot. So it's worked out well. I think X brings a wealth of experience in a great league. The Atlantic 10 was a great league. He was first team all league. And he does a little bit of everything. He scored 17 a game, then he had, rebounded it, assists, play make, competes, been in a lot of situations, and I just feel very confident in X. So it's been great having those 2 on board.
Porter, want to go back to something you said at SEC Media Days about leaning into the portal. Go back to when that process for you to get there. What was that like? Were you fighting it? Were you not sure it was going to last?
No, I was never fighting it. It was more of mentality. It's just that way in life. Just complaining about it doesn't help. It's funny. I'll go out somewhere and people that don't know about NIL, don't know about the portal, but they don't like it. The general public, they're like, man, I don't know how you guys do it. We don't like it. And I get it, because you can fall into that trap and just keep talking about all the negatives. So it was more of when I said lean into it, was more of a mind shift. So this is our reality. Let's lean into it and make the best decisions we can make in it. And I also leaned into it with the mentality of, we went after some guys that have played at a high level, and we didn't go after sheer numbers. For a lot of reasons. One, you have a certain budget you can work under. And then the other, I found that, they're in the portal for a handful of reasons. A big one is they want a better situation to play, impact, role. And if you start to get 7 of those, you're not going to have 7 roles for that. Doesn't mean I'll never sign more than 4. It's just this structure of how we built this team. We felt we had some guys back from last year, Dayton and Mo specifically, who got a lot of minutes in key times. And then we had 3 guys that we felt are really good can be SEC players, but whether 2 of them were injured, Jadon Jones, Jeff Wanko, and then Kowal, we redshirted to gain strength. And he did. He gained 20 pounds and grew an inch. So we got those back, and I just think the 4 guys in the portal, leaning into those guys, we leaned into just the positivity of, like, it was just a mindset. Like, this is our new world. Let's not complain about it. Let's just make the best of it, and And I think we got 4 guys that fit who we are, how I want to play, how we want to play, and I'm excited to get to battle with them. Yeah, it kind of went viral when I said you have to lean into a May. And I'll say this, and I'll just make a general comment, is that we have to be relentless for progress in NIL. And I'll just float that out there. We just got to be relentless for progress for NIL. Right now, after this year's portal, we need progress. And it's just got to be that way, because this league is relentless for progress. Where people were last year, where we were last year, there's progress. And we got to be relentless that way. And that's got to be our mindset, our mind frame. That's the way it is. It's like and I think we have been. I think we're working towards that. And but it's got to be progress. So retention is just so much of what most coaches are about. I mean, I want to say, like, that's what I'm about. I mean, all coaches will tell you that the retention of guys in the program that know how you run things, know what your standards are, know what you expect. So that retention piece has been the difficult one of the key guys here. So I look at, let's just start with Mo and Dayton. Mo Waggy was split throughout the team, came off the bench last year. And he was one of the highest fouls per minute guys. And I talked to him about that. And he said, you know what, I was always feeling like I had to get something done really fast. And, you know, because Sam was going to come right back in. And I get that when you're split time like that. But he also was ended the year at one of the top offensive rebounds in the nation. He's one of the top returning offensive rebounders in the country. So when Sam went out, we had a long talk. We said, Mo, and that's when he told me that about feeling like he had to do something. I said, we can't afford for you to get in foul trouble. You have to play 25, 26 minutes a game. And if you look at the Missouri senior night, Texas, Georgia, Kentucky, UConn, 5 high-level games where Mo was there, he averaged 9 and 7. I mean, I think anybody would take that 9 and 7 from your 5. So all of a sudden, to retain Mo, who didn't have a summer last year, because he wasn't, I mean, he was in his boot when he got here from Alabama. So he had a whole summer working on his body, working on his thing. I really think Mo, you know, just seeing him with Kai, Mo just like a veteran, terminology, everything on things we want to do. Hey, this is how you flip the screen. Hey, on this action, this is what you... Just having him mentor Kai, that retention piece of Mo was huge. And I think Mo's going to take another step. Dayton came in, you know, last year, you know, throughout the summer, he was with Duke and Kobe, 2 older guys, and he was a freshman himself. And then we added Fears, so all of a sudden you added a guy that we kind of knew was going to play a lot. And so Dayton just kept on working. Everything you want, Dayton did. Didn't complain. There were times his minutes weren't where he wanted, and all he did was come to practice and made me say, I got to play Dayton. Like that's what you would tell. I would tell every young player right now on any roster at any level that are not getting the minutes they want or they don't or they're is make your coach say, I have to play him. He's bringing value. And that is what Dayton Forsythe did last year. There was a point where we're like, man, he's just bringing so much energy. He's making winning plays. Sometimes the stat sheets wouldn't show it, but like we were watching those winning plays. And then I thought, you know, if you look at all the freshmen, there wasn't a lot of freshmen. He had to be in the top 10 or 12 freshmen of minutes last year. Look at it. I think he was, if you really do that research. So we got him back, and he's grown another year. Jeff Wanko was doing great, and then he tore his Achilles. He came back. He practiced with us in, January, February, March. Kawal Atok redshirted. Jadon Jones was hurt, and then he was ready to go in January, but we decided you're going to redshirt because he was already, we were 13-0, and it was just, so he played in practice every day, January, February, March. So those 5 together this summer, just on how we do things and everything, and then credit the new guys. They came in not entitled. Nigel Pack came in just a veteran. You can coach him hard. He knows, he takes care of his business. He's doing his recovery. He's doing his stretching. He's getting his work done. Just a veteran. He's itching because he missed the end of last year with an injury. He's been totally healthy. Tay Davis has come in, older guy, had a great year in the ACC, just worked. Darian Reed's hungry. He had a taste of the SEC, highly ranked kid, shared minutes, had some injuries. He's ready to go. And then X couldn't be a more humbled, hardworking, about the right things guy. So the type of guys we got in the portal, even though there were 4 of the top 100, they didn't come in entitled. They came in blended with the new guys. And what you hope for is that everyone's blending and trying to say that, is that you hope that that's strong enough to handle adversity of the season. Because everyone's having an adversity season. There's a lot of us right now, hey, the new guys are blending with the old guys. I feel that strongly, and you just hope that you build it so tightly that it withstands the adversity of a season. No one's works harder than Jeff. There's no bigger gym rat than Jeff Wanko. We don't have one. I don't know if anybody has one. We all know his car. It's the lime green car. I probably shouldn't say that publicly, so maybe don't air that. But you can come in here. You come in here at night to make recruiting calls. You come in here to watch tape. You come in here. The green car's out there all the time. It's always out there. And sorry, Jeff. Now people are going to know your car. He just works so hard. He wants it so bad. And that's the thing that when you have a guy that wants it so bad, you're coaching him. You don't have to do everything on every play. Let it come to you. And he just works so hard. He can really shoot it. I mean, the kid's a gym rat. He really got his shot. He's really improved it. And he could always shoot. But he adds another 6'6" wing, an SEC body, but a tremendous heart. And just for him just to get experience. And the thing you forget about Jeff is went to Tulane to play football, went to junior college, got hurt. He hasn't played a Division I basketball game yet. He has not played a Division I basketball game yet. So he played in the exhibitions. Thought he had a really nice Wisconsin game. I thought he played really solid. Had a huge steal, DCO, pick 6, knocked down some shots. But also, sometimes when you're on a scout team for a year, we're coaching the top 9 or 10, and the scout team can make mistakes. They're trying to do what the other team does. Now we're really locking in on where he needs to be defensively, what he needs to do some things. But this kid's heart is huge, competitor, and he really is a rookie. He's an older rookie because he hasn't played, but he's a big part of what we're doing. Kai, first of all, we don't have a lot of guys we've had here that just looks like him when he walks in the room. He's for sure 6'10", 245, 250 with 7'4" wingspan. So he is a true center. He's got great hands. He's got shot blocking ability. We haven't had a lot of shot blocking here. So he gives you that. And he's learning every day. Mo has got a good IQ. He knows when to flip screens. He knows when to toss them and roll. He knows when, he knows the defensive coverage is more. And Kai, just like any freshman, it's coming fast at him. And I think when freshmen start to slow down, they start to get it. And that's what in the hopes of Kai is he's trying hard. He's doing some good things. He's going to help us just because his size and physicality and his length, because you need that in the SEC. Some teams have 4 of those guys. We do not. Bigs were a huge premium in the portal, and so it is tougher to get a big in the portal. So I thought we got a top 60 high school kid that we're going to build and work with, and we got Mo back, who's a veteran, who's played a lot of minutes at this level, and then we can also go small ball. Tay Davis and Darian are 2 guys, and you throw Jeff in there, all of a sudden you can go small ball, and they got to guard us. You're 6'9", 6'8", 6'6", athletically that can do a lot of things switching. So we got some options with that. His lateral quickness combined with his length. And his effort. When you have 6'9" with long arms playing that hard that can stay in front of a smaller guard, it's just hard. Sometimes when a bigger guy at 6'9" switches on a guard and they can go by him, and then when they go by him, they got the vision. If you can't go by Tay, he's 6'9" still, and he just got great lateral quickness. He's got great effort. He's got great pride with his defense. He's got a strong chest. I know that. I mean, like, he can chest you up and hold you to where you're just not opening up and retreating. He can level you off, and that's, sometimes you see smaller, undersized guards level you off, get underneath you. He can level you off at 6'9", and that's why I think he's so dangerous, because you can switch with him, take vision away from smaller guards, deflections. I mean, we're charting deflections all the time. His length at getting deflections to start transition, I just think he can really do a lot of disruption on defense. Darian, we're hoping he brings a lot of different things. A bigger guard defensively, a bigger guard offensively. He's really worked on his shot, his catch and shoot 3. He can body you up and swivel post you in the post, but really on the glass. On the glass. There was numbers of games that we just got hurt in the trenches, rebounding. Just the size and athletic ability of the SEC. And just in those trench rebounds, jumping up, and he's 6'8", physical, goes after it. We really need him to rebound in those trenches with him and Tay and Mo and Jeff to get those rebounds that hurt us last year. But he's really being able to knock down that shot has been a key that for him moving forward. But I think Darian, the reason why he's so good is he can do a lot of different things. I think he's going to be a defender, a rebounder. He makes nice passes too. He can see and make some nice passes. Swivel post, kind of finish at the basket, transition. So we're hoping he does a lot of all-around things for us.
You always talk about the race of maturity for your guys. How important is it to have the returning core that has so much SEC experience and bringing in a bunch of veteran guys that have either experienced the SEC or really high-level college basketball to kind of help the gel process for?
Going through the portal, I don't want to say it's 100% when a kid comes from a lower conference. I'm not saying that, because there's been a tremendous amount of players that come from a conference not. But I would say overall, the percentages of when you get guys that are night in and night out against, and I think it's even going to become more important, because I think as more and more couple years into this cycle of NIL and the portal, you're seeing some of these Power 4, Big East rosters loaded. You're seeing them loaded. And so I think it's going to be more important to have guys play against such a high level. That was our flaw. Doesn't mean we're not going to ever take it, or some of those guys that come from, because there have been some very good ones, and I could rattle off a bunch. But I think it's important. Darian's referenced the offensive rebounding in the SEC in our locker room. Tay is, been there. Nigel Pack's been on the Final Four. I mean, he's been when the Big 12 was ranked #1. Nigel was first team All-League. I mean, he's been on that. He's been on the Final Four stage, and so that's just invaluable that guys have had that kind of experience. And we targeted it, and it was, you know, I thought it was really important that those guys, we get some guys that are a little older and experienced. Yeah. You know, we learned that, you know, because some of them are older, there wasn't, you know, I thought they fought through hard. I mean, both games, there were hard sequences. There were hard sequences. We had, you know, we learned some things we got to do way better. That's the biggest thing, and that's why I wanted to do them. We learned a lot of things that the film, we could go back and go, man, we got to do this. Like, we have to do this better. And you got some guys that, you know, in a game that mattered on the road, you know, Alec Blair got 7 and 8 minutes. You know, Kawal Atok got some minutes. You know, so you got to see them on a game. That's why I think the NCAA should do more of them, because people are making such a big deal out of these exhibitions, more probably outside than we are inside. Inside, we're looking to how we can do better. But then all of a sudden, it gets a little real about trying to win it. You know, people want to win these exhibition games, especially fan bases and everything. And so it's starting to take a little bit bigger form. And so there's a fine line. You're trying to win it, but you're also trying to maybe get a lot of guys some minutes that might not get it. So that's why I think we should go to more. The NBA goes to more. So those first couple, if the starters play a quarter and the rest of the guys get minutes, or some guys, no one's really worried about if they win or lose, because you have more of them. And I think that should be a big piece. I hope we go to more. It's just all, especially with able to go in the summertime, I don't see a negative of like going to 4 of them. But we learned a lot of things that we liked. We learned a lot of things we can get better at, and we go back to the drawing board. But it was intentional to play 2 high-level teams.
Order, besides you no longer have to hear the question from us, what did making the tournament mean for the program who wants to represent them?
It just continues to, you know, I know the narrative. You know, we actually it wasn't in this room when we found out we didn't go 2 years ago. But that really should be the narrative, because where we were going with all that, and that was really fought with the narrative. What that I take away is everything you want to be about the resiliency, everything you want. Backs against the wall. Started out 10th in the country. Hit a hard spot. All this thing, and the resiliency to fight through and to keep fighting through hard to find a way just showed, you know, the program, the guys coming back, a belief and a path to, I sat in front of you, game after game with you guys, some tough losses, and like there's a path. And the guys to see that and get there. And make no mistake, that's not my goal, is just to get the ticket in there. And I said that to every recruit. But they saw the path and where we're going with that. And, you know, because it was. I mean, you know, you don't want to go, you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda about the narratives of it should be, hey, we're trying to get 3 in a row this year. You know, I mean, it's just, but it was very, very hard to swallow how we didn't. But then the narrative turns a certain way. And, but our narrative that we're focusing in on is resiliency, direction, fighting through hard, fighting up that mountain where we're trying to go. And that's where we're hanging our hat on with this program is that togetherness, toughness, belief, resiliency. And we need your help. We need people's help. We have to fill Lloyd Noble. We have to get that atmosphere. We have no better example on the globe of high-level basketball of what a fan base can do than the Thunder. That atmosphere is the best in the sport of basketball, hands down. I've played in every college venue. I've watched pro. I've been to games from my hometown, Chicago, when the Bulls were in the run. I've never seen an atmosphere like a Thunder game, and it makes a difference. I don't think there's a sport that makes a difference more than basketball, and I'm biased because it's right on top of you. And in this league, to be the best of the best and to go in where we got to go, we need your help to be wherever we're going. I think the fans are going to love this team. I think they're going to see how hard they work, how together they are, and we've got to sell out that arena night in and night out. Not just when we're doing well, or not if we have a bad game, or not. We need to consistently make that a great place to be. And I've been in there when it's full, and even though it's older, even though it has its leaks, its drips, its different problems, noise is noise. Excitement is excitement. Fan bases are fan bases, and that's what we got to create in that arena. Is that it?